So I talked about what happened when I started writing about these these concepts. When I started talking about them, it leads to these concepts: manage, maintaining, preserve, and also civilization. Let's go back. Civilization. So so I had mentioned that I didn't put categorizing. So when I started off with categorizing the citizens, right? And I started talking about the neighborhoods. How is it that the Jewish people live in one part of Far Rockaway, while the African Americans live in another area in Far Rockaway, but they're both close to one another. And the people in the Jewish neighborhood, they have the Long Island Railroad right next to them, and they live in fancy buildings. And you can actually see the glass with the lights, chandeliers. You can see the person opening the door. I'm like, we don't have that over there in the far west, in the part that I live in Far Rockaway, and it's only like how many blocks? Like 12 or 20 blocks away. I don't see nothing like that. All I'm seeing is people living in shabby buildings. They're cursing. I see pit bulls running wild on the streets. I'm seeing cops' cars. What is the difference? How is they so different? Yet they're so close to one another, but they're both different. Yet they live in the same part. They live in Far Rockaway. So why is it that they behave differently towards one another, and yet they're the same human beings? I questioned myself about this, as well as I talked about Suffolk Boulevard having all these Hispanic people, and Hollis having all these Guyanese people, and then 169th Street, Jamaica, Queens, Hillside, they have a whole bunch of Arabians, right? And the Arabians had these small cathedral, and this cathedral here, was it in 2001? They were scared that there would be terrorists hanging around in the cathedral, and over there on 169th Street, they were scared that they would try to blow up the twin towers. It was a lot of it looks out of place. Like, how is it that how is it one part of the neighborhood have it this it's like you can see the culture. One part have these religious people in this neighborhood. The other part have these Guyanese people. The other part have these African Americans, and the way they speak, they smoke marijuana. You can smell the kush reek all over them. The way they speak, the way they listen to rap, they blast it out loud, and the way you see the NYPD vans, something doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. I'm thinking that it's done genetically. I'm starting to think that it's based off of DNA, placing people in the neighborhoods. And this shows me that the AI has some sort of knowledge about these neighborhoods before and after. It means it happened, and it happened after. It has way too much knowledge to know how to put people in situations. Something doesn't, it doesn't feel right. So I started using examples on socialanxiety.com. I started having these blogs, and I started using examples how people are not independent and they're not socially dependent. So when I started using the word maintaining civilization in 2018, I started thinking about how people have partners or jobs, that the people don't make decisions for themselves. So I started saying maintain. They want to have some sort of change. You know, that people can't make decisions for themselves. Why is it that there's someone else making decisions for them? Right? Someone wants to put them in this category, so they can shape humanity. Why they're shaping it? So one person on the internet mentioned, oh, they're trying to shape humanity. Means that the people don't make, the citizens can't just get a job without. There's a criteria. There's a criteria for winning a lottery. You don't just go play a scratch off and just win $1 million, or like the 24-year-old guy. This 24-year-old guy, he lost his job. He was unemployed. He didn't have no, he was working in fast food restaurants. He lives with his mother. His mother's a single mother, and he just happened to go to the liquor store, and he just got this one scratch off for at least $20. Scratch it off, and it had a coin symbol, and he scratched it, and it said that he won $5 million. Someone knows this guy's situation. Someone knows that he's unemployed and he doesn't have any money. That's a good example. They wanted some sort of change. Someone evaluates the way people behave, so they can continue make. It's like passing off. It's rather than just passing off these genes. It's as if they're trying to shape the generation. They're trying to use the past to motivate the next generation. They're trying to get it to a certain point. You see how the rap changed. You know, and you look at the 90s, the 80s rap, 70s, the 80s, 90s, they all changed. They're not the same no more. The cartoons, the food products, the way people behave, they're trying to get it to a certain point. So that was correct. What I was thinking of, that they're trying to get it to a certain point. Why is it that the people? I keep questioning myself that the word wife and the word girlfriend, they're both government. They're both government terms. What I mean by government terms, because the AI, when I started learning, the AI governs people, right? They're not able to make choices for themselves, and they want to make this choice exist for them rather than them making choices for themselves. So when I use the word preserve, preserve means, so I said preserving humanity, right? They're trying to they're trying to keep everything in order, right? So I think about the animals. So the animals like the birds, they're not able to govern themselves. That's the AI. The AI is the one who's assisting the animals to pretty much So I'm looking. So to was it a few weeks ago? I was looking at a falcon on YouTube, and I saw how the falcon started laying their eggs, and there was a the male falcon and also the female falcon taking turns, and it looks robotic to me. I'm just looking at the way the birds behave, and I already see it's robotic. I can already tell that the AI is assisting the birds. They take turns, yet they seem to not show any signs of awareness of that what they're doing. It's as if someone else is contributing to the way the birds behave at that time. They're trying to keep. It's like they're trying to. It's as if the AI is trying to, or you could say the program is trying to save humanity. Might as well say it that way. They're trying to save it. They're trying to get it to a certain point where it's to keep everything alive. They're trying to keep the whole entire population alive to a certain point. So if they have our DNA, if they have our DNA alive, this means that what I'm thinking of in 2017 about the camera is correct, and the human memories. I had mentioned about in tutor, so I talked about active time. So I used camera as an example, right? And the human memories. I said, how come a camera can remember that time and event, and a human memory can't remember that time and event? That camera can tap into that active time. That time, I mean, the camera can tap into that time. So it's been a long time since I've had actually thought about it. So I'm going to bring up the concept again. It's been a long time since I talked about the camera and human memories and the time and existence. So that existence still exists. So if it was, the camera shows you people that already that are no longer within this time and event, right? But yet they exist. So suppose someone died in uh 2001. Someone just died, yet you can still see an image of them. So I remember talking to I was talking to a member on social anxiety about this behavior, and also the camera, the technology, and he said maybe they get lost. That's incorrect. It doesn't get lost, because if preserve means that the preserve means that there must be a machine. There must be someone, not just a machine, someone who knows the information. This means that the AI governs the information. Yeah, it governs the information. How is it knowing how to make people think? How is it knowing how to pretty much change people's perception or make them feel aroused? How is it able to make people have wet dreams? You know, or showing or not only that, showing me strangers that I never met in my dreams. Or how is it that strangers talk to me in real life and they don't even know anything about me, yet they're talking to me as if they have some sort of knowledge of me, right? I remember standing. I remember I was standing in front of Link NYC free Wi-Fi, and then this lady just talked to me as if she has some sort of knowledge of me, like she had talked to me before. The way she speaks to me like as if she's familiar with me, or she speaks to me like in a way of as how my mother would speak to me. Her character made it obvious that every single person has some sort of knowledge about one another, but they seem to not have any, they don't show any signs of awareness. Their mind is not theirs. Remember that the mind comes from the computation intelligence system that the AI had pretty much simulated. They seem to not have any, know, their thoughts, their memories, their perception is not there. It's all coming from the computational intelligence system that the AI computers use. So when I started talking about the active time, I mean the existence being active to a person online, I remember that day it was 2017. So the next day I said that to this person, and then the following day I remember having I saw words in my dreams, and I heard a man voice telling me to stop talking about this stuff online, as well as the next time I talked about it on Webuller, I mean not Webuller, on social anxiety. There, I remember hearing a man voice telling me to please stop talking about this online, please. Yeah, you don't just have words or hear a voice when you're sleeping in your dreams telling you to stop writing on the internet, right? Lecturing you about what, and not only that, lecturing you about that is going to be if you continue writing about this on the internet, something there's going to be consequences. Or I would have a complete stranger that I never met on socialanxietysupport.com telling me that there's going to be some sort of ramification based on the way I speak, because he said the way I speak is not, you know is something about social norm, like it's not normal, it's not normal in the ways how society speaks. So the way he speaks to me as if I'm being, like I'm an outcast. Like I don't fit in with the rest of the, I don't fit in with society when it comes to the way people speak in general. That I shouldn't be speaking, right? Because I'm not using terms that people would normally use, based, you know, in general. It's not normal. He's trying to tell me that it's unusual and that there's going to be some sort of consequence for talking about these concepts using the terms I use, right? So people would lecture me. They'll tell me that about using that I should use technical terms because of the way they would tell me about my grammar. They would say that my grammar is, the way I write and the way I use words is incoherent. That I'm not able to speak the way other people speak. That I shouldn't be speaking. They want to show authority over me. So I'm looking at the way they speak on the internet, the people, right? And I started getting this idea that there's a artificial, there must be once again, a supercomputer making these people speak to me this way. And I would have someone use the word belief incorrectly in a sentence. He would mention, oh, his beliefs. This one guy, he goes on every thread that he's in, he always talks about his belief, right? He used it incorrectly because he's telling me I have a belief, but he's the one who have a belief about me because he's the one who's reading each and every, he's the one who's fixated on every post that I write, every thread that I write, and he's fixated on each and one of my posts. So the one, and you can Google that information here about governed information. Who governs information? I did this the other day. No such thing. It just says government. It doesn't exist. The term governed information. It only says government information. Google doesn't tell you everything. Google is incorrect. So this is hold on. Let's use the word governs information. No such thing doesn't exist. Yeah. What other search engine that are out there where we can write that? Nope. Yahoo doesn't do that. There used to be a Yahoo search engine. Let's type Yahoo search engine. Let's type it there instead. Nope, no such thing doesn't exist. No such thing as governed information. Let's type it in MSN. Search engine. Oh, I thought about search engines for a long time, trying different search engines to see what type of information they give. I haven't used MSN since the early 2000s. Let's try this and AOL too after this. Does it exist? Governed information exists? The concept doesn't exist online. Nope, doesn't exist. Looks like I'm on to another. Looks like I created another concept again. Doesn't exist. Only says U.S. government information, executive branch. The executive branch of government enforces the laws of the land. It just uses an article. There's no such thing as governed information. Doesn't exist. See, the search engine doesn't use any. It doesn't use any correct information. It only uses fake information. It just points to government, and those are not there. It doesn't give. It's unclear. It's vague. U.S. government is vague words. It's vague. It doesn't tell me exactly what government they're talking about. It just tells me the branches. It just gives me really. It just gives me information about the branches and the articles. It doesn't tell me exactly where information come from. Let's try AOL search engine. Nope. What happens when you type the word information? Right? It tells you that information provided or learned about something or someone. Information in general, the sense is process, organized, and structural data. It provides context for data and enables decision making. For example, signal customer sale at a restaurant is data. This becomes information when the business is able to identify the most popular or least popular dish. Can you find anyone who's talking about governed information, where information comes from? They don't tell you. They don't. That Google doesn't know where information comes from, but the AI computers who governs information knows every concept on Google, every concept on the internet. It knows everybody's thoughts. It knows everybody's mind because it governs information, right? It knows what God is. It knows everything you search on Google. It knows all the search engine. It knows. So I can understand why it makes people avoid my posts and also my YouTube videos because it governs not only information, it governs content too. Who governs content? Let's type that in. Nope, doesn't exist because the artificial intelligence govern content on the internet. Oh well, you got something here. Creating the right processes, resources, and interactions between people in order to govern content effectively is difficult. Doesn't tell you anything. Doesn't exist either. The AI governs content. That's why my content is not growing in my channel. I told the guy who I met, a member that I met on social anxiety. He's from Africa. I told him that he asked me this question. He said, "How come you don't use your YouTube that much? Why you don't upload a lot of videos?" I said that if I upload videos, it wouldn't make any difference. I would still not get much views because the artificial intelligence and the programmers manages YouTube. So this means that the AI computers and the programmers governs YouTube. I'm talking about content. So my content wouldn't grow. Doesn't matter. I can have I can have a million videos, and I would still have the same amount of subscribers because of the people's beliefs. The people's belief is what makes them subscribe to my channel or not, or make them unsubscribe. I had a 50. I now have 50, 48 subscribers. So no matter what I do or no matter how many times I try promoting my content on YouTube, it wouldn't work the way it's supposed to work, because the AI would make people have a belief about my YouTube channel. You know, I had last year, 2020, there was this person, or this female, who questioned me about my uh, my 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 content. They mentioned about AI computers. Do you always talk about AI computers? Huh? Like what? They tell me that I shouldn't be talking about AI computers. While there's people on YouTube, their content is based off of quantum and AI computers and bots, right? They can talk about cryptography keys and algorithm keys, and they can use math, and they could talk about um what else? They could talk about all the all different types of computers, and they can talk about the key information, and they get a whole bunch of views. They get like 40 or over 50K worth of views. Well, I get 2 views or 0 views. Zero views is actually a number. Zero is a number. You still get zero. Zero shows you're not getting anything. It just shows zero. There's a number. Why not remove the number and just say no views? Zero says zero. So this is what I started learning. And when I learned about preserve, when I learned about governed information, governed content, is still part of preserve. Civilization means advancing. They're trying to advance humanity to a certain point, which is true. It means that they're trying to perfect the AI computers is perfecting humanity. I don't need to use the word certain point. They're perfecting humanity 24/7. I can't. No matter how many times I try putting in for jobs, no one wants to hire me. No matter how many times I try interacting with people, people tell me that I speak illogically. I speak incoherently. That whatever I'm saying is not what I intended to say. And the people have beliefs about me. They all use the same logic when they speak to me. I can't give a clean explanation to them without them finding some sort of contradiction, because the AI computers govern information. So anytime you hear the word mind control, right, that would be incorrect. That means that was the AI. The AI is the one who supports conspiracy theories on the internet, because it's trying to pretty much mislead people from the actual concepts, right? The people on YouTube are the ones who support the AI concepts, and also on Google, and also on search engines, they support the AI concepts. While I don't support the AI concepts, I'm using my own concepts that I created. And that's why the AI lectures me about what I write on the internet, because it's not coming from the AI computers. The AI computers govern information, and when I see the AI computers lecturing me in my dreams, telling me why the hell I'm cursing me out, saying the F word, why the fuck you have this on the internet for? It speaks like that's how it speaks. It uses vulgar language. Why in 2016 I saw the F word. It said, why the fuck you're talking about this on the internet, and just words saying the F word, huh? Telling me why I'm talking on community and saying all these things, and then all of a sudden these people that never used to, these members that never interacted with me just pop out of nowhere and they start interacting with me. The only time when they interact with me is when they want to humiliate me or lecture me. At the time when my mom and my sister want to interact with me is when they want to make fun of me, make fun of my appearance, like my legs being skinny, or how I'm not interested in, they're telling me that I'm not interested in getting a job when I'm applying for jobs, right? Or how my aunt is telling me that I don't want to work with people because I'm scared of people. Their belief comes from a machine, and it can affect you, because it did affected me. My cousin doesn't want to have anything to do with me, and to the point that my aunt has started using me as a prime example. She thinks that I want to spend all day in the library. I mean, I want to spend all day in Burger King and I want to have a get a job. She thinks that I'm laid back, that I'm relaxing. I'm not. I don't want to work. And she influenced the rest of the family members. So she also influenced her daughter, and her daughter got tired of me and my mom, and especially me. She got tired of me, and even though I'm a quiet person. See, I can be treated worse than a criminal and a terrorist. That that I shouldn't be around people, right? I should be pretty much by myself. No one, my mom is not a person to interact with as well as my sister. They just look at me like I'm a stranger to them. That's how effective the AI is when it comes to governing information. The mind and the thoughts, the belief and the logic and the contradictions comes from the AI computers who governs information. So when anytime you think about mind control, that would be incorrect. You think about me. You think about how I thought. You think about how I think about the AI computers governing information. But I'll be still talking more about preserve humanity. So I have, today is my day off, so I can just talk. But anyway, thanks for listening. If there's anyone actually listening, I'm pretty sure the AI listens to my videos, since it knows what my content is about, because it's making people avoid my content. Thanks for watching. All right,